tell myself, like, who cares what these idiots think? They're going to be in the same town for their whole life, and they're just going to be looking, like, Googling my name and seeing me somewhere else.
Brought to you by the book Power Now, The Art of Getting What You Want, How to Master Your Mind and Love Your Life. Hi, thank you so much for being here. I'm Kirsten Bloomquist. I am the author of Power Now, and I am a clinical hypnotherapist. You can find me at www.feelingpowerful.com. Let's jump right in. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here. They say life's all about developing the right mindset, right? Today we're going to dive into the mindset of the poker player who won the most amount of money in 1 year and find out how he creates a winning mindset. Now, I know what you're thinking. He probably just has really good luck and is a card-playing genius of some sorts. So how can I relate to that? Well, what if I told you that before he won big, he was millions of dollars in debt? Millions. Today, he is sharing how he flipped his mind around to win the most amount of money in 1 year. You're also going to learn how to deal with the critical people in your life, aka the haters, how to build self-confidence, and how to approach everyday life with the mindset of a poker all-star. This champion has a tremendous outlook on life, combined with a serious work ethic and rare skills he has developed along the way. The words out of his mouth are pure golden nuggets that you can apply to all areas of your life. This interview is so transformational. Be sure to grab a pen and paper, take notes, and listen to this again and again. I'll be sharing an interview that I did for my book, Power Now, The Art of Getting What You Want, How to Master Your Mind and Love Your Life. While this interview took place in 2018, the wisdom is timeless. And I can assure you, this poker player has gone on to win multi-millions of dollars since this has taken place. It is my pleasure to now introduce to you the one and the only Bryn Kenney.
So Bryn, welcome here.
Hey, nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So I'm going to dive right into this because I am eager to get into your mind. And so when it comes to poker and playing very well at this, would you say there's a lot of it comes down to mindset and mentality?
Yeah, I think mindset, mentality, preparation, just, well, also you have to have a sharp mind all the time is the thing, because let's say a lot of people, you win a lot of money in poker, you celebrate, you start going out, partying, like all these are things that aren't going to make you like one of the best poker players, because to be one of the best, you have to play 12 hours day in, day out, and your mind has to be so sharp. Like, a lot of times I'll play 3-day tournaments, let's say, and you don't even realize because you're thinking so much without realizing that you're thinking so much. So my body will just be completely finished after 3 days, where I can do nothing except for watch like TV on the couch or play some video games or something. So I feel like I put in so much effort into it mentally, where you kind of have to step back a little also.
Yes, and that's such a good point that you brought that up, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that will watch you and say, oh, well, he just is lucky. They don't see what's behind the scenes for you preparing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, anyone who wants to say that anyone's lucky, really, it's all about the work you put into it. I mean, now I'm 31. Since I was 17 years old, I probably averaged 10 hours a day, every single day playing poker. At first, I was playing 12, 14 hours a day, every single day, probably for 6 years or so, just nonstop playing. I would go to cities and just only play. I wouldn't really see any places of the city. It would just be mind fully focused on the game.
Yes, for sure, that focus. And that's a good point. So you also brought up preparation, preparing your mind and your mindset. Is there anything in particular that you do, to start the day off and get into the right mindset, or anything you do before a game to get into the zone?
Well, not necessarily like a preparation that I do all the time. I just always make sure that I'm very calm and level at all points. So if I'm feeling a little off, I'd rather go play later than go in with what I feel like is not the right mindset, because it's kind of like work, but fun work also. Because when I go in and play, I have to play for 12 hours straight, and it's not like I can say that I want to pause at any point. There's no such thing as pausing. Like, you're there until the end of the day or until the end of the tournament. So you really need to bring your top mind. So what I would do is I make sure I get sleep always. Sleep is the number one thing for me. Always sleep. Try to eat healthy. I can't say that I'm active or anything in the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, because for the most part, when the day is finished, you can't really think of doing anything else except for sitting on the couch and maybe, nothing really. Like nothing that is mind or physical activity, because you're just drained, completely drained. So it's like giving everything into something, but then also you want to drink a lot of water, drink green teas. You want to not eat food that's heavy. So like, let's say I'm on a dinner break. I'm never going out to eat Italian food or something. You'll always have a light meal because you need your mind to just be at its sharpest.
Right. Yes. Do you have any sort of rituals or anything, any mantras in your mind that you tell yourself?
I always keep myself at a pretty level focus, but some things that I always tell myself is that the past doesn't matter at all, and all that you can do is make good decisions for yourself for the future. So I'm someone very strong on not holding myself, I do hold myself accountable, so that's not the right word. It's more like not get distraught over bad mistakes that you make or certain things that happen in your life, because I just always live that the past is over, and the way that you get the best future is by making the best decisions and not being clouded by negativity pretty much. So I don't really bring any negativity in my life, so just try to keep like level. Any type of negativity, you need to get rid of it, because you can't, well, just in all industries really, negativity is just what brings you down. So
Yes.
you need to feel strong, like prepare, and just hope that not hope, but put your best effort that everything's going to go well.
Yes, that is so true. So, you know, I mean, it's such a huge title that you got last year of earning the most money out of every poker player. So leading up to that, though, when you were starting out and, you know, there's maybe some bad days happening too, were there ever days where you didn't believe in yourself? You doubted yourself, like, oh, maybe I should just give up and go to school, get a job, anything like that cross your mind?
Yeah, maybe only one point in my career I actually thought like that, like, what if I don't win again? But I mean, there have been a lot of points where, I mean, I've had crazy ups and downs where I've been a millionaire to in the negative probably 5 or 6 times or so.
Wow.
Well, like in the negative being like no assets, no money, and owing your friends like 100K, 500K. I've been as bad as $1 million.
Wow.
So, I mean, at these points, that's when you really get like tested mentally, because also people act different to you when you're winning and when you're losing and when everything's going. So it's very easy for when things are going well to make good decisions. Everybody, like people want to do favors for you, this, that, and the other. But then when things are going bad, like even people that you've helped out so much, like they don't really even know you anymore. Like
Right.
some people you've done so much for, they don't care about that at all anymore. So it's like it's also a vicious world, because I've always tried to help all the people that are around me, and that's actually got me into trouble, like helping my friends too much and putting too much of myself out there for other people. And that's actually most of my downfalls. See, I've always won playing cards since I'm 17. My like graph is just like straight up pretty much, but I always tried to help people too much. I did favors for other people, tried to bring them up with me, and they kind of forget about when things are good, everyone's your best friend, and when things are bad, no one knows your name anymore.
Yes, that is so true.
So when you're like 21 and just learning about things, at 21 I was a millionaire. So then you don't know about any of these things like this. So you think that people are good. If you do the right thing with people, they're going to do the right thing with you, because if you're putting in so much to pretty much create a life for them even, how could they just go back and spit in your face pretty much? But unfortunately, somehow it just happens over and over. So for me, it was more like getting through the hurdle that you could help someone so much, they could be like a brother to you in your mind. And then when things go bad, they don't care about you at all anymore. Because I've always just been confident that even if I'm in a bad spot, I know I can get myself out of it. I know I have a strong mind, and I know whatever I put my mind to, I can do well at. So I don't let myself really be bothered by a way of thinking that it's not going to be well or everything's not going to be fixed, because it's all about just how you think and then the preparation you put into it. So let's say you're doing really well, you can be more careless and make more mistakes because you can move around a bit. You have money, you have capital, so you have more room to do things. But then when you don't have money and let's say your loans have started to like get a bit dry, hard to like get more money from your friends, now you're at the point where you can't really make mistakes at all, because it's like put up or shut up, like go home. Like, and I've been good at having a mentality that I forget about the past completely, with people or with money or just bad things happening, and just always focus on just the future and put in a lot of work and do the right thing, and yeah, good things come. Another thing that's important is I always had a good reputation for myself. If I owed people ever money, no one ever would see me gamble or anything. I would always pay it back. So it's not like someone needs to come and chase me for money. The only time they wouldn't have it is if I don't have it. So that created a good name for myself, where people would actually give me loans or do business with me because they know that my word is good. So it goes like a lot into it, because if on the other end, when things went bad, if I didn't have a good reputation, I would have been out of the game.
Yeah. Right. That is so true. You brought up a lot of really good points there. And I like that you mentioned, so something that, society maybe would call as a failure, when you were $1 million in the hole. And that is something that would be hard for a lot of people to wrap their minds around and to overcome that. And you have overcome that, obviously, and you did extremely well last year. So how did you push yourself through that? How did you wrap your mind around that? Like, what did you do with your mind to get out of that position and to triumph on top?
So it actually was right before last year. So that happened in October of 2016. I was in the worst negative ever. I owed clean $1 million, and I had another deal with guys who were sponsoring me in tournaments where I was down another 1.5 million. So before I could actually get out of anything, I had about 2.5 million to pay back. 1 million was actually like debt, and the other 1.5 was like, I'm not going to get paid until I make that 1.5 back also. So it was like another instance where I was a bit too careless. I got screwed over in a really big business deal that I was really stupid about. And so I was in London at the time, and I rented a really nice like 3-bedroom apartment for myself, just stayed in the apartment, ordered delivery food every day, watch movies, turn my phone off, and just like smoked a bit of weed and kind of just like got past it. It took me a week of just kind of being in there, but the thing is, I was telling myself, like, it doesn't matter. It might take you 2-3 years to get out of this, like, but it doesn't matter because you got yourself into this. So all you can do is take baby steps. See, a lot of people, they'll think that you can like try to jump a mountain, like just run up the mountain as fast as possible. But thing is, when you get shot back down to the bottom, you've got to make baby steps just to like even be somewhere on that mountain. So I just kept convinced. I kept telling myself, like, okay, so you've got to make good decisions now. You can't make the same mistakes with people again. You have to put in the effort. And after that week, to be honest, I just like forgot about it. I never brought it up again, and I just like did everything I could to get myself out of it. So my birthday was in November 1st. Right after the night after my birthday on November 2nd, I flew to the Philippines, to Manila, to play in a big tournament. And I saw one of my friends there. I actually wound up coming in second place in that tournament for 1.5 million. So I got rid of the whole 1.5 that I was down right away. But at the end of the tournament, my friend goes to me. He's like, man, like, props to you. I can't believe like the way you are, the way you're acting. He's like, I was sure I was going to see you. You were going to be down, saying, fuck this, fuck that, just being negative. And on the opposite, if you didn't know what happened, you could have never told that anything was wrong with me at all, because I just keep that to myself. Also, when you're playing like a gambling game, you don't want people to know when you're down, because they'll try to go after you a bit. So for me, it doesn't work as well, because I have the killer instinct and I don't care. If I have nothing, I probably play even more ferocious than when I do have a lot, because that's when you're fighting for everything.
Mhm.
So actually, if people know for me when I don't have, it's no problem for me. But a lot of people, when they lose their money, they lose their confidence. And then when people start going after them, it's a lot harder to get yourself out of it. But fortunately, I've just spent countless hours just putting in the time to become so good at this game. And obviously I have some innate like skills that make, because not anyone of course could put in the same amount of time and be the best at anything really. So I'm fortunate for that. And to be honest, most of the time when people ask me what the most important thing in poker is, I always answer mental strength.
Yeah.
Because like, you have to get through just shit going on, no matter what. Same thing in life, you can relate it to everything. Any job, anything in life, it's all just like a poker game. There are things that can bring you down. You can build yourself up. You can a lot of ways to make mistakes. Much harder to make good decisions than it is to make mistakes. And you just get tested. So I feel like people get tested when they're at their low, and I feel like I'm like a gladiator. And I don't know. I feel like I take it all on my shoulder. The thing is, for me, I always saw it as I can't quit, because if I quit, not only do I give up on myself, but I give up on all the people closest to me that I can help out if things are going well for me. My mom, my grandma, my dad, my younger 3 brothers, sister. So it's like, it's never in my head that you can actually like give up for anything. So it's just more like, okay, these are the facts. What can I do now for the best outcome for the future, which might take a long time down the road. And fortunately for me, I was able to pay back like the whole 2.5 in 6 months, as opposed to thinking it could take me 2-3 years. And yeah, so I mean, I had maybe the best year anyone's ever had in poker of all time last year, the year after all the shit happened.
That is amazing. So I truly love this story because it shows people, like you said, mental strength and hanging in there through the tough times. So when things got tough, you, instead of complaining and saying, why me, and giving up, you actually worked harder and you let go of the past. That is a huge thing that a lot of people can't do that. So you have so much mental strength, and of course you were rewarded tremendously for the effort and everything that you put in. Do you have any tips on how people can develop mental strength?
All about just training yourself and taking it like small step at a time. So it's not like I was so good at first, just where I could deal with anything and get through it. At first, everybody gets upset when bad things happen in life. It was happening to me for a long time too, but poker's a game where there's a lot of swings, up and down swings. So if you're letting yourself be so affected on either side, either when you go up or when you go down, it's just going to be much tougher for you, because you just need to keep an even keel all the time, because it is going to be drastic up and down swings. So I just kind of convinced myself that that's the way you need to be. And I think that anyone's mind is strong enough to do that. It's just to be strong about anything. It's not the easiest. It's just reinforcing it over and over in your head, and just knowing that this is the only way to get yourself back to where you want to be, because just complaining and negativity, you're never getting back to where you want to be. You'll just be stuck in that hole forever. But you put your feet forward and you work hard and keep a strong mind and put in the work. And I feel like people can do anything that they put their mind to. I mean, it's just hard because you get tested. There's going to be bad times for everything. Always forks in the road. It's difficult to get through these. And that's why, I mean, it's kind of true that only really the strong survive and everyone else gets eaten alive on the journey.
Yeah, it's very wise. You have so much wisdom, and I can tell a lot of that did come from those times where you were at, lower times, and you had to build strength and gain new skills. So being that my book is about power, what would you say is your definition of power?
My definition of power is probably different than other people. Power would just be, for me, the ability to do whatever you want and to have this, to be able to give the same to the people that you care about. So if me and the small circle that I have are all able to do whatever I want, I consider that the most power, because there's a lot of people who make a lot of money who can't even do what they want. They work their whole life. I mean, I worked, not that I worked my whole life, of course, but from 17 to 30, I kind of did nothing except for play poker. And then I realized that, and that's not really the life you want to live. It's just up and down, money, money, money. And it's not really about money. It's more about experiences, seeing parts of the world. So for me, if I can do, I mean, I've been doing whatever I want. If me and my family can do whatever I want, I feel like that's like ultimate power.
Yes, and that's a great point that you brought up, that it's not about money, it's more about experiences, and like having the balance too, right?
Yeah, because I mean, money dies with you. When you die, like your money's gone, and a lot of people they're just living. I've heard from a lot of smart, wealthy people who are older that they wish that if they could do anything, they didn't work their whole life all the time. Because now they're older, they want to go do all these things that I'm going to experience, that I'm like experiencing now. But the thing is, you're older, you're not as mobile. It's not as easy anymore to travel around, to walk around cities, to go see places. So
Exactly.
I want to do this like when I'm young and when I'm able to, before you have a family, before you have like things that you have to do. And I always want to travel anyway, no matter how old I am. Hopefully I'm in shape and able to travel anyway. But I think that balance is really the most important thing in life, because if you have too much of anything, it's just not going to go well for you. Too much work, too much chilling, like if you're just not on top of your things, but then also enjoying yourself at the same time, it's going to be difficult.
Yes. So you have a very positive outlook on life. Would you say that that was something that you were born with, or something that you developed along the way?
To be honest, I think I built my own confidence myself. Like when I was in high school, I was actually in really good shape. I wore a gold medallion and tight clothes, but I was in a city where the people didn't really like that. So actually I was the most hated person in my high school probably, when I didn't even do anything to anyone, just from the way that I was looking. But the thing is, I didn't really care about what any of that. I just told myself, like, who cares what these idiots think? They're going to be in the same town for their whole life, and they're just going to be looking, like Googling my name and seeing me somewhere else. So forget about these guys. And then also, like, I had a bad breakup with my girlfriend in high school, I remember, because she actually told me, she was like, she gave me an ultimatum. She's like, either me or poker. So,
Wow.
when anyone gives you an ultimatum, it's like, okay, well, you're making me choose something. Yeah, sorry. So, I mean, it's not like I was a bit depressed then, too. But ever since that day and that feeling, I can't remember being really depressed at all. I just taught myself to be confident in yourself and just to work hard, and you can create anything that you want to. So that's another thing, because other people will say, oh, well, you're confident, so like that's what happens. But I mean, confidence, okay, sure, you can be given confidence, but the type of confidence that you're given usually isn't even earned. So it might just be because your parents have money, because you do this or you do that. So this is a lot of actually fake confidence. The real confident people, it's because they do things themselves and they build something for themselves, or just build a mentality for yourself. And I feel like anyone can create a positive outlook and a strong mind to proceed. It's just, people are like, there's a lot of haters out there in the world. The thing is, everybody wants to bring you down. Like, even when I started getting successful in poker, like, it's not like people are, oh, this is great. Everyone just wants to see you crash and burn. Much rather see you crash and burn than actually succeed. So I've just always detached from ever caring about what other people think about me, unless if it's a close friend of mine, who I'll always listen to a smart person who actually knows about me and who's looking to give constructive criticism. And I've even been better in the years where just listening to any type of like thing that people think I can work on, because I would want to know, and I would tell a friend of mine the same thing. But also, it's just, yeah, it's difficult. You have to not be bothered by so many outside things, especially as you start to build more, the outside noise becomes louder and louder. But for me, I mean, yeah, I feel like who cares about what anyone who doesn't know you has to think? If they want to hate on you, it's just because they're sitting in their basement doing nothing.
Yes, that is so crucial. That's the fear of what other people think, and that holds so many people back. So the fact that you're over that, you don't even care, you've got blinders on, that is amazing. That's super cool that you're able to do that. Do you have any last tips or last words of advice for people who are, they haven't reached their goals yet, they failed a few times, they're tired, they're worn out, they're questioning themselves? Do you have any bits of advice that you can tell them, how to create a stronger mind, how to push through it, how to succeed? create a mindset for success?
I would say never be too hard on yourself. Just because it's possible to fail and to be putting in the right effort. Another thing that I've always taught myself is never to be bothered by results. It's more about what you put into it. So if you believe what you're putting into is the right path and the results aren't coming, that's just because there's some variance involved, and the results will come as long as you keep putting in the proper effort. Also, I would definitely say that the people who are working so hard and feel like they're coming up short, maybe you just need to step back for a second also and just see things in a different type of perspective, because maybe you're on top of everything too much, and maybe you need to actually see things like on the outside looking in. Maybe you need to take a break or something. I think that it's very important to have just some time for yourself, to go on vacation, to do something, go anywhere, turn your phone off, like forget about any type of outside noise and just allow your mind to just process on itself. And if you're confident in yourself, people will feel that confidence. People will also hate you for the confidence that you have, but you can't let people bring you down. And if you work hard, do the right thing, and yeah, good things will come to you without a doubt.
Yes, those are powerful words. I love everything that you're saying. You touch on some great things there that people definitely need to hear. And it's really cool that you have this perspective, because you play poker, you do really well at it, and there's so much of a mental aspect to that, and it's so cool to get into your mindset. So I thank you so much for your time. Anything else you want to add in or share?
I think that's pretty good. I think covered a lot, all about mindset.
Yes, perfect. Like I said, I really appreciate you being here. You covered some great things today, and I know that whoever is going to watch this or read the book later, they're going to really get a lot of help out of your words and your wisdom. So thank you so much, Bryn.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that, of course. Thank you.
Wow, wasn't that incredible? I don't know about you, but I could listen to this again and again and find ways to apply it to my life, especially the part about self-confidence and the haters. That is possibly my favorite quote of this interview. And I find it refreshing to hear someone talk about remaining detached from both the upswings and downswings of life in order to protect your mind and your happiness. I absolutely appreciate that Bryn said you can do everything right and still not get the outcome you desired. However, you just need to make a few tweaks to your strategy and stay persistent towards your goals. In fact, I loved Bryn's wisdom so much that I actually filled an entire chapter in my book, Power Now, The Art of Getting What You Want, How to Master Your Mind and Love Your Life. Develop the mindset of a poker champion so you can get through the highs and lows of this game called life. Pick up your copy of Power Now today at www.feelingpowerful.com. A huge thank you to Bryn Kenney for being here. Now, I would like to know, what was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? Let me know in the comments below.